What's up, everybody? Who's out there? Let's see who's out there and ready to rock. This thing is amazing. As soon as you turn this thing on, all right, so what's up, Jess? What's up, Carmen? I got a special guest today. Randomly, I called him yesterday, and then I just said, I need somebody. I've been going on a lot of other people's Instagram lives because that's how we're all communicating now. And I called one of my buddies that the world is starting to know about, even though the world has already known him. And a lot of industry insiders have known who I'm bringing on right now. And he's actually one of the first. I'm going to go over a little bit of his history right now. The name is DJ dee-nice. A lot of you have been hearing about his club quarantine over the last couple of weeks. And it's like, how they say it takes 15 years. Every overnight success has taken 15 years. Well, it's been 30 years now, and dee-nice has been an overnight success 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times. So I'm going to have him come on, and I'm going to ask my buddy a lot of different stuff about what his career is about and how can we learn from what he's been doing today. How many people here, can you put in your answers, how many people here has heard about dee-nice recently, and if you didn't know about him, and how many people have already known about him, but how many people have heard about dee-nice with his club quarantine? If you don't know what club quarantine is dee-nice is spinning for 2, 4, 6 hours a night. He's playing all the most amazing songs, but dee-nice was a rapper. He was with Boogie Down Productions in the early days, of course, with Kairos 1, so he's one of the first to be out there, and definitely from the Boogie Down Bronx. And remember his song, My Name is dee-nice, right? He's definitely a producer. He's also a photographer. He discovered Kid Rock. A lot of people don't realize he discovered Kid Rock. I didn't know he discovered Kid Rock. And was official DJ for President Obama while Obama was in office. He shared the stage with Hall of Famers like Billy Joel and Stevie Wonder. Started Club Quarantine a couple of weeks ago. The first time he started, he had 200 viewers on there. After that, he had 1,000 viewers. And most recently had 160,000 viewers. But I thought I saw him. I thought at one point he had almost 300,000 people listening to him on Club Quarantine. And you should definitely check him out. And he definitely goes out and gives love to the other DJs who many people should know that he hangs out with. So anyway, let me see if dee-nice is on. And if he's here, I'm going to bring him on right now. See if dee-nice is on. Hey, Amanda, I was just speaking to Amanda and Steve, amazing company, Booty Queen, from Shark Tank. So if you are getting in shape at home and you want to feel good about yourself, and you don't want to be in all your old crappy stuff with bleach stains, why don't you check out Booty Queen? Let me tell Dee that I'm on right now, and I'm going to, where's my other phone? I'm going to bring, how many phones do I have? You need, all right, I'm ready for you. Ready for you, Dee. Ready for you. Yeah, let's wait for Dee to come on here really quick. Let me see who else I can shout out there. Jackson, Chic, IG, Phoenix Firepits. Phoenix Firepits. I think I ordered something from you guys. Let me see the Phoenix Firepits. I think I ordered something from Phoenix Fire Pit. Let me know if I ordered something from you. Did you create my Death Star Fire Pit at home? If so, everybody should check out Phoenix Fire Pit. Listen, whether you created my Death Star at home or not, you should definitely check out Phoenix Fire Pits. They are fire. Ha ha ha. Thoughter 23, Damian, you're my favorite. Thank you so much for the love here. Let's see if we get, let me get dee-nice on here really quick. Let's see if I got dee-nice here. Let's see. Still looking for dee-nice. He'll be on in 1 second. All right. While he's not on, I'm going to shout out some people over here. dee-nice. Oh, Rise Above the Noise. David Breyer. David, I saw you send me a text or email earlier today. We got to get we've been trying to do this. We've been trying to do a video like this before this quarantine thing even happened. I don't know what happened. Let's get that done. Let's see who else is on here. We got Hire Me Though. What at the Boys Nemesis? I like that. I like that name right there. By the way, I gotta. Oh wait, somebody said any advice for a broke guy having a good business idea and a working prototype. Maybe you should pitch me your idea. I'm going to start opening up my quarantine pitches. I'm going to send you that information later on this week, where I'm going to be taking pictures from people. Maybe I'll be investing in you. Maybe somebody on my social network who, is a CEO or an angel investor or a manufacturer or distributor will help you out and hook you up. All right, let's see. We're going back to see if we got dee-nice here. Sorry for the wait, everybody, and I'm seeing a lot of good people out here that I respect and love. Mr. Confidential West, I just talked to him from England. He was telling me about all the stuff going on in England. Listen, if you know people around the world, call them and see what's going on with them around the world, because it'll probably dictate what's going to happen here if they're a little more advanced or they've been dealing. Here we go. We got dee-nice on here. Let's see. We waiting for dee-nice. Taking out your suckers and you don't know how I did it. What's up, D?
Oh, what's up, D?
I love you, man. Hey, man, how many hats you got, brother?
I have about 19 hats now.
19. So, I don't know, you weren't on here. I already kind of told everybody a lot of things about you that people may not have known. You know, I always say that every overnight success takes 15 years. You've been out here doing this for about 30 or 35 years. So, you've been an overnight success several different times, from BDP to being the official DJ of the Obamas, to being a producer, photographer, and now it's the rest of the world discovering what we already knew was an amazing party.
Yes.
Your quarantine party. Let me ask you something. When you did it, when you initially did it, I mean, you had 200 people viewing you, and then I think I saw one day it was about 275,000 people viewing you. Why did you initially do it?
Initially, I did it because of I was sitting here just like everyone else. You know, I was a little down, feeling isolated. The one thing that was, or the two things that I loved the most was kind of removed from me at the same time. That's my family. You know, temporarily. You know, my family. Everyone's in Michigan and in New York, and I'm here in Los Angeles. And then the music, the DJing. That's what I do. You know, like I was constantly being on the road, and I just thought about doing it just to share stories. Like I wasn't even DJing. I was literally,
Right.
I had my laptop with my phone, and I would just play songs into the IG Live. And it was a few days later, after I watched the crowd like started to grow and build to a couple of thousand. DJ Clark Kent called me and said, "Hey, like you should really think about DJing instead of just playing music." And I went out. I didn't have turntables hooked. I mean, I have turntables here, but my mixer was old. So I rushed over to Guitar Center, bought a controller. It was the day when they finally shut everything down. So luckily I got there, and I started DJing, and then it just took off, bro. Like, it's insane. It just changed everything.
And so once I got on a lot of people were like, "Yo, D, dee-nice, Tony Rashawn hit me, and all our family hit me, was like, yo, go on to D's Instagram for it." And I was like, all right, so I just like today when I called you yesterday, I was like, "Yo, can you come on my IG?" You was like, "Absolutely, D, no problem." I was like, "Okay, well, D-nice wants me on his IG to do a split screen." So, I put the I put the jacket on. I had the shirt already. I was still in my underwear because you don't get to see anything down here, right? I was
No, I'm
ready to
dressed,
do
man.
Instagram.
Me, I'm dressed.
but I'm in shorts, right? But I
Okay,
was
okay,
ready,
okay.
and then I realized, I was like, wait a minute. He's not asking for nothing for anybody. He is just giving people a good time. And I think that what people can learn from this is a couple of things. A lot of things are overthought. And remember when Khaled really blew up on Snapchat, remember what he said? Like, I was just home doing my Khaled thing. You know what I mean? Another
Yep.
one and I came to the mall, and there was so many people following me. I was like, "Yo, is Bieber in that store?" And they were like, "No, they're following you." And a lot of people, we always overthink what is natural to us and what we love, and where we are today in society. If you really look at what I'm noticing works, if I put out videos, and I put out educational videos of something I've done 2 months, 4 months ago, people are like, yeah, cool. If I put out doing something right now, in the moment of the time, not super polished, no fly shit around me,
Sure.
people message you because they feel like you're just being authentic, right?
And that's
And
that's who I am
yeah,
too. Yes, I agree with you.
and
I'm
and, and Dad,
No,
I
go
want to
ahead,
hear it. I
brother.
want to hear it. I want to hear it.
I'm being authentically me. Like I'm not doing any. The crazy part is, and I've shared this story with people where it was a moment of frustration of like, D, I see you all over the States, man. We're everywhere. I
Yeah.
run into
Yeah.
you different places, different, whether it's events or wherever, and it was a moment that I was so used to traveling and used to being on the road. Like I did 400,000 miles last year on Delta, like constantly on
Yeah.
a plane, like every day, whether it's to see
Yeah.
my daughter. I mean, just before before COVID hit, I had played in New York, opening for Jill Scott at Radio City. At 6 o'clock in the morning, jumped on a flight to Trinidad, DJ for our boy Shaka Zulu,
Trinity.
and
Okay.
then jumped right back on a plane 12 hours later to go to LA to DJ the Image Awards after party for CAA. And I was constantly used to moving that way, like just always going. So when I was in here and frustrated because I couldn't travel, I just felt like the universe, like God was just saying, like, just be still. Like this
Yeah.
was the first time in years that I actually just stood still and did nothing. And I was frustrated by doing nothing. And then the most beautiful thing happened. I was able to just share my spirit with the world, and like play music. And ultimately, it kind of hit me yesterday, like when I was just reading certain things, like what we all did together from that initial 200 to we maxed out at 165, not 265, but viewing at one time, which actually the metrics on it is it's like millions of people because no one is sitting there holding a phone for 9 hours. And when you can keep people there, keep people engaged, it's just incredible. But what we did with that initial 200 people, we changed the world. We changed how people even interact and how we party just based on these devices, like virtually. So, it's this whole COVID thing is a mess, but the beauty in it is that we still feel connected to one another, and we found we were able to be resourceful and find ways to still connect and still feel like I'm there with you right now. It's great, man.
I think there's so many things that people right now can learn from it in various different ways. So number one, you went from I think it was 200,000 or 400,000 followers to like 1.8 million, right? And you did that in a way of purity, love. You didn't compromise your beliefs. You weren't out there saying crazy things, and you weren't trying to be somebody else that you're not, right? So number one, they can learn from that. Number two is there's nothing new in this world. You're doing nothing new. You're doing something that Dizzy Gillespie did back in the days, and then we went to TV, and then we went to radio, but you found another platform to do what you love. And so people are always going to say, well, things have changed. Things have not changed. You just got to find another way to deliver what you are good at, your magic and what you are good at. And that's, I think, something that all of us, listen, when you go through IG, the music is not coming out as crisp and as great as you would like it, but it's the feeling and the energy. So I don't care what type of speakers I have, it's your energy and what you're doing. And I think another
Sure.
hidden gem in there is that Clark Kent called you, another amazing DJ. Clark
Mhm.
Kent called you and said, hey, here's what you need to do. Then you toss it off sometimes to Cassidy. Then guys like me and all of our industry people, we show you love and we respect you and we value you. And so many people say, we don't get along. We don't respect each other. No, it's not discussed when
Sure.
we love and give props to other people that we value and respect. Because we only talk about when we're talking shit about people or when we're
Sure.
trying to
Sure. I
hold them
agree with you.
down. Right. And so I think these are just a lot of different things that people could really learn from. And I know you're really busy because like me, I'm busier now than ever before. Not that I'm making more money. I'm just busier. But
Yeah, I agree with
you
that.
know,
I am definitely busier. I can't believe like, and I'm always in this same exact spot or in this area of my living room where it's like I feel like I've done more work now than I've ever done like in a 30-day period, like ever. But it's what keeps me going, man. Like I truly don't want to DJ every day on Instagram, right? I don't want to
right.
because I'm really tired of standing up. And when I start playing music, I just can't stop. Like I'll stand there and play music for like 7 or 8 hours because it's really what I love. The thing about it is, whenever I read emails from people, like they'll send emails to my info account, and I read how look, man, what we're doing, what you're doing through having conversation like this, and what I'm doing via music, it just uplifts everyone's spirit, like,
Yeah.
and that's the beauty of it for me, and that's the sacrifice. I mean, I don't know how long I can stand up doing this, occasionally my back is bothering me, but like the beauty of it is is that even though I'm trying to uplift someone else's spirit, the energy that I get back from people uplifts mine, you know, like, and it's like that, the transfer of energy between me and the audience is just powerful, bro. Like, you know, I go into other people's IGs and I never knock anyone. I always leave a comment just so people know that I'm supporting other DJs. And I also like to pass it off to someone. I got that from actually Questlove was the one that asked me to start doing that. Quest was like, yo, when you're done, like, can I make this my after party? And I was like, oh, bro, like, of course. Like, he made a flyer and we posted it. And I was like, wow, that's actually pretty interesting to do, like, to support each other, to show, like, all right, I'm done rocking. So, like, now I do it. I did it last night with Brian Michael Cox. When I had a sizable amount of people in there, I didn't even stay on long because I knew Brian Michael Cox is, you know, amazing producer, 8 Grammys, but an amazing DJ playing soulful music. And I was like, wait, you know what? Let me just cut my thing short so he could jump on. And then it flooded his IG, you know, and it's, you know, it's just great to be able to do that with people, man. And that you're right. We don't get to talk about that enough. Yeah. But the ones that know, we do know. We do know, like, that's the way it works. Like, you help each other. Like, Clark Kent.
Well, we've been around so long. You end up seeing somebody so long, and you know they've been around long for a while for a reason. And I think what you just said is the epitome of everybody here that's an entrepreneur or even working in a system. You know, the day that I first saw somebody walk down the block, and even till today, and I listen, even if they weren't counterfeit FUBU, and even if FUBU was out of style or was old and ragged, I feel the energy. I feel so good that they decided to dress their body with something that I created from my basement 30 years ago. And whether it's somebody at a company who has changed people's lives, or of course a first responder, or you bringing joy to people's lives, that's the whole beauty of being an entrepreneur, being somebody who is trying to just change the world piece by piece by piece. And I can't thank you enough. So I want to make sure that all my followers just you know, always try to support you in any way they can, because you are entrepreneurship. Like, you know, you are everybody here who's thinking they need to make the next best heart valve or air brake. No, you're an entrepreneur. You just make energy.
The thing that I also that I talk about too, man, is I posted about this like a couple of days ago about, look, just because we are quarantined, like, there are ways. If you have access to your phone, there are ways for you to start a business, to still be productive, to do something. Like, you know, I did the sweatshirt line with Will to donate money to, you know, healthcare workers. You know, like, we did all that from home, you know, and I did my own T-shirt where I'm donating a portion of that to more healthcare workers. Like, that's just my thing, like, people on the front line, you know, and it's all done. I mean, I actually want to show you, like, it's all done
Come on,
here.
Man.
At home, where it's like, look, bro, this was like where I had my photos against the wall, you know, like I moved everything around to make way for this, you know, like I have like my laptop being held up by my favorite books. I'm a photographer, so I have like my books here, and like Will Smith sent me a bunch of water. The speakers are on my chairs and being, you know, elevated with boxes of water.
You're using this water
I was just
for your speakers. Yeah.
Yo, I mean, he sent so much water, man. But I was literally using everything around here to, like, just to get this done, to do the good work, bro. Like, to play music, to keep people's spirits uplifted. And it didn't matter. Like, you can't order this stuff now. Like, I can't even order a regular desk or anything to set up my gear. So I just started to deconstruct everything. Like, all right, cool. You know, when I have my wine, it's like this little rack that I had in the closet for my socks. I took the socks out and used that to keep my wine and my glass elevated. And it's okay though. It's like, I know what I'm doing and what other DJs are doing. And even if I don't agree with some of the stuff that's out there, like, you know, like Tory Lanez, like he credited me for him starting his quarantine radio. I mean, his quarantine radio is out of control.
Woo!
It's out of control. But the fact that even my generation and generation after and his generation are paying attention to what's going on, it's just a beautiful thing, man. And I'm just humbled by this entire experience.
Yeah, art is a matter of expression, and you can't doubt anybody's expression. Maybe you may not agree with it, but who are we to say what expression is right or what expression is wrong? So I just wanted to thank you, man, for spending time with me and letting us share with the world, like, some of the lessons to learn behind the good vibes and the energy and all the things that they can do for themselves. And, you know, and maybe we'll make them just a little bit smarter today. Like I'm getting a little
Sure.
bit smarter from you.
Likewise, man. Everything, well, a lot of what I'm doing now is because I paid attention to what you were already doing from day one. You know, I feel like you're one of our most brilliant minds, and you're a kind person. Like, and that's the God's honest truth. You've always, from day one, like, I'm glad that people actually get to see this side of you because from day one, you've always just been a genuine dude, man. Like, so I appreciate you and thank you for having me on your
Uh,
platform.
well, thank you, brother. And you know, listen, whenever I'm out of the clubs, I'm not out there dancing. I know people are like, yo, why you 50 and change going to clubs? But I be right there in the DJ booth with you like a groupie, just chilling
No
behind you with a
doubt.
little drink, just getting it pot because the energy's
Always,
great.
I'm
So.
always welcoming. Like, yo, D's here. Like, and I love getting the text messages like, "Wait, are you working tonight? Where are you?" And it's like, all right, I feel a sense of pride when it comes to it because look, bro, you can party with anyone that you want to, you know, and the fact that you choose to be where I am because you appreciate the music that I play before the world saw it. You know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah,
That's just great. And another thing that's actually beautiful to me is that, bro, I'm actually playing what I love.
yeah,
Like I'm not being anyone else. You know, I used to think this is another lesson that people should take from this too, man. It's like as a DJ, I used to feel like, yo, as an older DJ on top of that, you know, I'll be 50 this year. And you know,
God is good. Yeah,
playing live and playing and you know what I mean? Like no disrespect to any of those venues because they were part of the reason that I'm able to do what I'm doing now because I learned a lot from playing in these venues where I had to just play what other people loved and I had to figure them out. I feel like, and this is so crazy that just recently before COVID hit, I was like, man, I don't know how much longer I actually want to do this. Like, it's cool. I love the traveling, but you know, like I really want to just be able to spend time at home and like figure this
yeah.
out and whatever is next in my life and focus on photography and write my book and like,
Why you ain't want to
and,
play who do mother bitch shit bitch
no, I
mother
didn't.
bitch
You know,
shit bitch? You ain't want to play that every day all night?
nah, not every day, man. And the
Okay.
fact that this took off with me playing Sister Sledge and playing Chic and you know Funky Sensation and all of these records, and I can still play Anderson Paak, and you know I can still play YB and Corday, or I could do an old school set. Or like yesterday, I had Manic Mondays where I just played like '80s pop record, and it was still
Yeah.
like the crazy people in there. Just means that I can be authentically me, and that
Yeah.
people will accept me for that. So I can tell you, even like once this is over, I can never go back to being that club DJ ever again. It's you when you rock with me, you're rocking with me because you need to hear this style of music that I've given you, and I'm happy to turn things down now. You know,
I, I felt the same way. You know, when I became a public speaker, I felt intimidated that if I'm speaking at Harvard and stuff like that, I'm speaking in front of professors. I'm speaking in front of, you know, really geniuses. And I felt I had to dress a certain way and I had to put it in and use big words that I barely knew. And I went, wait a minute. I don't care. I'm from the streets. I could just say, I don't care if you think I'm right or wrong. This is what happened to me, and this is my experience,
true,
and I just want to share it with you. And you can never, ever tell me what didn't happen in my life and how I experienced it and I felt it. And I'm going to share it with you. You can break it down as analytical as you want, or you can say the crowd doesn't want to hear that, but that's exactly what I'm going to do. And, you know, people resonated with that, you know, so.
absolutely, yeah, man. So I'm glad you shared
All
that, and
right.
I'm glad to be able to share this story with everyone, brother. Love you, man. Love to
You
the
got it,
family
man.
too.
Love you. You guys.
All right,
Same to you, man.
peace.
Stay safe. Thank you.
Thanks, bro.
All right, so if you didn't, I'm going to bring on somebody else right now who was a Shark Tank entrepreneur. But first of all, that was a great conversation because, like anything, I learned from D as well. You know, I learned about all the things that he said and the way that he was doing it. But I'm going to bring on somebody else right now that you may or may not know, David from the company Sun Stashes that I invested in Shark Tank. I don't even recall what season it was, but I'm going to bring on David right now. We're going to find out what he's doing today and how he's dealing with, you know, COVID and how the business is doing itself and where the business is going and how he's making adjustments. Now, David created Sun Stashes. I don't know if you know Sun Stashes, but amazing brand. It's all the glasses that make you feel good. And actually, a lot of people wearing them these days now while they're home doing their TikTok videos. And he came out he started with his other two partners during a recession as well and came on a Shark Tank. So let me see if I can get David on here right now. Let's see if we can learn from David some of the great things that he's doing. We got Mario Armstrong's on here. That's my man. Check out Mario Armstrong. If you're not following him, you need to follow him. You like Daymond John, you're going to love Mario Armstrong. All right. Dave.
What's up? How are you, sir?
What's up, man? How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm dealing with internet issues. I'm on LTE right now. Usually I'd be on Wi-Fi, but I think everyone in my neighborhood is working from home. So we'll see.
All right. So no problem. I'm gonna just give everybody a brief history of you, and then we're gonna hop right into it and see how people can learn from where you are today, and or we can learn from maybe some of the people on the live stream as well. So you found the Sun Stashes, with your high school friends. Of course, my partners Dave and Eric, with just $200 in startup capital. Found the company during a recession, transitioned from selling online to focus on selling in stores. Now, that is actually the opposite of what everybody has done, right? And
Right.
changed, a change in Amazon policy made your products unable to be eligible for Prime, as it was a one-off purchases, and channeled your inner entrepreneurship and pivoted. You were on Shark Tank season 6. I didn't even realize season 6. I thought it was like season 4. And have since partnered with companies like Disney, Marvel, DC Comics, Nickelodeon, Universal, and Pokemon. So a lot of people here may want to know about licensing from you as well, because they have ideas and hopefully they want a product on their intellectual property on their product, or they want to license out to a company. And all right, so that's about it. So, I can get into more stuff, but let's talk about what is business like today. And do you have any Sun Stashes around you?
You know what? I actually don't.
I'm sure you don't. You don't bring those things home because you probably got a million of them in the warehouse.
I have them at home too, but I'm trying to hide from my kids right now because it's a different world, as you know. But I'll show you some other stuff. We're actually starting to work on regular licensed sunglasses, which is this is Monster Jam, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
But I have that right here because I did a call right before this. But yeah, it's definitely significantly different because we're a non-essential item. Like sunglasses, especially most of the country is still cold. There's no sun, so we're not really getting sales. But we're, as you said, we started in a recession, in the Great Recession. So it was crazy. We actually had a business where we sold hip hop jewelry, and we were one of the biggest company doing that. And our customer lost their credit. We had to pivot very quickly and literally transformed our company into what it is today, which is Sun Stashes. We make novelty sunglasses. Anyone can check it out at sunstashes.com. And basically, we had really no other option at the time, and that's really how we got found, like how we started. We wanted an easier product that was recession-proof, and we felt sunglasses because it's an accessory and it's not like a full apparel. Apparel typically gets killed in recessions because people don't need to buy an extra shirt or 4 suits. They'll buy one. Accessories, people accessorize their current outfits, and we felt that was a big deal for recessions, and we love that. So that's how we started, and we're currently in a situation where most other people are. It's insane these days. Everyone's impacted. So what we're doing currently is we're kind of working on next year. We are absolutely, we haven't laid anyone off. Our goal, my biggest thing, I think our company's biggest thing is not to panic. Everybody, what we've noticed is people that panic typically don't have an opportunity when there's a rebound to actually capitalize on the rebound or capitalize on an opportunity. So everybody loves, they're like, I'm going to fire everybody. Well, I don't think we've cut anybody's hours really yet. We haven't fired anyone. We're taking advantage of all the government options. We are researching every aspect of it, the PPP loan that converts into a grant if you use it on employees and you use it on rent. We're taking advantage of anything possible. And you know what? It's not, a lot of people were telling us that is all bullshit. There is no loan. Like it's going to be I don't know. We're going through it, and I think we just got funded for it. So that's, take advantage of those things if you need it for your business.
So that's a good point. So right now because I've heard that if you're not with a certain bank, you can't get it. But then I'm told every bank has it, but if they didn't get their systems set up yet, they still have the allocation of the money there, a certain amount of it. But then I'm also told 66% of it it's already been processed, right? So, but you are somebody saying through the process, you're starting to see some of that come through, the authorization of the money and everything else.
Absolutely. We actually, I'm pretty sure we actually got funded already for it. And that's a big deal because, that allowed us to keep all our employees for a foreseeable future. And hopefully, we're full forward. I mean, everyone's working from home. We have that going on, but we have no other option but to keep designing and developing because that's what we're based on.
But let me ask you something else. I mean, let's talk about the reality of it. If most of your eyewear is sold in stores and stores are closed, I mean, that's a lot of inventory that probably was either on its way or in the warehouse or maybe returned to you. How do you think that you're going to deal with that? Now, I've seen there's been a resurgence of some stuff because people doing all these TikTok videos are now doing TikToks in your glasses because they can change up their costumes and something like that. But I'm sure that's not, I mean, tell me what's going on because, because everybody here, I don't want them thinking it's peachy cream. It's not.
No, our sales, I mean, once it happened, we had purchase orders going to all kinds of retailers and big purchase orders, and they got either canceled or postponed with an indefinite date. So, we literally went from business to no business, and we still have all our fixed expenses. That means we got to pay employees, rent, insurance, all the stuff. So it's not peachy at all. We're not selling anything right now. So we're literally functioning on whatever money we have, loans, and whatever government assistance is. And that's why what we're kind of looking at is, okay, most likely this year is done. But we started in a recession looking forward. We've almost been out of business 3 times already, literally almost out of business 3 times since we started. I started this business when I was 18 years old. My partners joined shortly after that. I've literally been almost out of business 3 times. This time I'm not nearly as scared because I already experienced it. What's the worst thing that could happen? Go out of business. But honestly, man, that's what it comes down to. I feel most important thing in licensing, like we talked about, is to keep the relationships going. Talk to your people. They're as scared as you are. All licensors, they have no revenue. Their revenue's down significantly too, except for anything in the essential business world. So, Frosted Flakes are selling, and whatever branded toilet paper is bonkers. It's out the door. But other non-essentials like sunglasses, mugs and things like that aren't moving. We're definitely moving into marketplace. We're selling more on Amazon, and we're trying to sell on .coms like Target.com, whatever .coms we can for the time being. And then we're also pivoting into the space. So we're in sunglasses. We naturally could make some protective products or something similar that will help, within the next 18 months. But also, I'm concerned. I don't want to go into selling masks and things that a lot of people are doing right now, because what happens is everybody's going to saturate the market, and then the other categories are going to be left wide open when the economy recovers. So our thing is, okay, we could concentrate a little bit on this, but make sure we're doing what our core business is and what we're used to and what our customers know it. That's a big deal for us.
Good. Well, no, I'm glad to hear it, because I don't want people getting on here and everybody saying, oh, it's going to be okay and the world is great and we have no problem, because that's just not realistic. I mean, even from my standpoint, I've talked to 4 of, your fellow alum who are my Shark Tank investments today, and everybody is, they're finding ways to pivot, but it's not easy during the pivot. I mean, it is very, very hard, and it is the fact that, but, we got to look at it 2 ways. Are we going to lay down and die? And, you can't, like before, a lot of times entrepreneurs before would say, man, I gave it all I could, and let me go get a job. There's no jobs. Right? So you can't do that anymore, right? You can't even second guess. So you're knee deep in this thing one way or another. And, we're going to have to just figure it out. So I know we don't have any, listen, our government doesn't even have any answers for us at the moment. Sure. We don't necessarily have any answers, but hopefully somebody that is listening right now, watching you, can relate and understand that they need to pivot as well, and they can learn from exactly what you said. So is there anything else you want to share with everybody else out here? Because I know that you have a large base of knowledge when it comes to entrepreneurship.
I mean, I think this is kind of the prime example of, first of all, we're all in the same boat. I mean, I'm staying home right now. I got 2 kids that are not letting me work, and I have to school them. I have a wife who was a big, who has a job as well in the surrogacy field. She basically does that, and she's got to work, and we have to share responsibilities. You know, there's so much, and all our work is down. But again, like you said, we're working twice or three times as much and we're not making any money. Like the only people, I mean, right now, you know, there is no paycheck here. There is everybody else got one. Doesn't mean I'm getting one. But you know, and that's another thing. Like we have, whenever it does get better, and it will get better, it will absolutely get better. We're resilient as hell. Like this is America, for God's sake. But when it gets better, make sure you save up a little nest egg in case of this situation next time, because this will happen again. It might not be this, but it'll be a different option here. So don't invest everything. I know some people are young, but I was young too when I started. Thankfully, I have some cash enough to survive and live a decent life for you know, maybe 6, 8, 10 months without necessarily making an income. And that's a big deal, because that gives me the luxury to be able to pivot. And that I think is a big deal. I think people really need to learn that and kind of adapt to that.
Okay. All right, man. All the best, man. Thank you, D. And I know we'll be talking.
Thank you, sir. All right, man. You take care.
All right. Later.
Thank you, sir.
All right, well, there you go. Two different type of entrepreneurs, but all with the same type of topic and the same type of way to address things. One is, you know, giving people good spirits, and he's entertaining people, and all his whole inventory is here and here. And the next one is selling, you know, hard goods in retailers, not necessarily on as many online sites. And they're both saying, you know, two things: that number one, you got to pivot. Number two, you're going to keep working as hard as you can right now, not making as much as you used to, but that is a small investment into where we're going in the future. And we can't say that it's all going to be the same, but we're going to do exactly what we're doing now. So anyway, thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm going to see if I see anybody on here. I can just shout out really quick: Adam_Teller, Kim_Cherie85, Tiffany, Camille, Chrissy, what's up? Interstellar_Traveler, Electric Lady, I love that name, and so many other people on here. And D said, thank you from Sunstashes, if you want to ping him. Oh, my man Tony Rashawn is on here. Tony Rashawn, he's the one who put me on to what dee-nice was doing. Really amazing individual. And all right, everybody, I'll let you go about, and Mario Armstrong, what's the first thing you want to accomplish during this time? Oh, that's a great question. Mario said, what is the first thing that I want to accomplish during this time? I want to be more technically proficient, Mario. I think that, you know, I leave it up to my staff to do a lot of those things. I want to be more technically proficient, but I have about a couple of things, because I break out what I want to do in 5 different areas, right? So number one, I want to teach my daughter sign language and continue to teach her more ways to defend herself, as well as, of course, staying with her as much and hugging and kissing her. That's number one. Or they're not in any specific order. Because I'm down in Florida, my mother happens to live in Florida, I want to be able to be the one to, I got to protect myself, first of all, to make sure that I don't bring anything over her house, but I want to make sure that I'm able to go and do all the things that she needs done for her without having other strangers and people coming by to help her, because maybe they aren't practicing social distancing and being safe. So I got to protect my mother's health. That's another topic. Yes, I want to be more technically proficient in doing what I'm doing. Another topic. I'm not also on planes as much as I used to, so I want to try to get 8 miles in daily with, you know, my walking or running or on the bike to help, obviously, lose weight, but stay more healthier, because even though I am as healthy as I can be, you know, because I'm on Synthroid due to cancer, that is not an excuse. I know that I should not drink as much. You know, if 3 times a week you're drinking, or 2 times because you need a cocktail to relax, I need to do it 1 time. I need not to eat as much or as late. I need to be a little healthier there. So I got to stop bullshitting myself and saying, oh, it's only because of this. No, you know when you're lying to yourself. So I need to be a little more healthier. And I don't know what other skills I'm going to try to work on. Maybe I'm going to try to work on another language, and those are a lot of things that I'm working on. So I don't have necessarily one thing, but also, and don't get me wrong, of course, it's always going to be about, you know, my faith, being closer to God, and understand that I'm blessed because of the circumstances I'm at. And I think last but not least is to highlight amazing people, empower people here, because the next Daymond John or Steve Jobs may be talking to me right now and watching me, and they're just one decision away from altering their life to becoming the most game-changing person in the world that will help contribute to this world. And maybe somebody I brought on here, or maybe you, Mario, or some information they get may be that thing that just turns that switch on in them and they go out and change the world. So I'm going to keep trying to inspire people as much as I can, and showing people that, oh, somebody just said, why am I teaching my daughter sign language? I'm teaching my daughter sign language because when we're out or someplace, and a baby, of course, when they come over, she's 4 years old, she come over to bother me or her mother, we may, well, leave me alone, shut up. But if my daughter is scared or feels threatened or something like that by somebody or something, or in a situation, they can't text you. A lot of times they're really quiet and shy. They don't say anything. And a lot of times kids don't know how to express themselves. Of course, a baby does. That's why a baby cries, because it's the only way they express themselves. But when they get to a certain age, 3, 4, 5, they start to hear the word no. They say a child hears the word no 50 times more than they hear the word yes, and they start to grow a shell and become very quiet about certain things, a lot of children. So I'm teaching my daughter sign language to be able to sign to me from across the room, from across the table, if she feels something that there's something bothering her that she can't find the right way to express it. So if I give her 20 signs of fear or love or happy or bathroom or whatever the case is that she can sign me on, then hopefully one of those times that she is having a challenge, she can sign me or her mother. We can, do whatever we need to do. All right. So anyway, all the best to everybody, and God bless you. And I'm gonna, in closing, I'm going to definitely do quarantine pitches coming up soon. So get your inventions ready, get your ideas ready. Again, if it's on a napkin or it's on an iPad or it's just something, I want you to get it ready to pitch me. You're gonna have about 90 seconds to pitch me. I'm gonna highlight you right here. Everybody's gonna see you. So, put on your Sunday's best or don't put on your Sunday's best. Totally up to you. It all depends on what you're pitching. And we're going to have some fun, but yep, maybe you may be discovered. So anyway, everybody get ready. That's coming really, really soon. So start working on it now. Don't tell me I didn't tell you, because if it gets popular, I don't want you saying, well, the list is so long, because I'm telling everybody right now, this small group of people right now, that you're going to be the ones that are going to be able to pitch me. All the best.